Welcome to the Prop Line Week 5 NFL props and parlays. Andy, Corbin, and Jim going to break down all the games. We got some teams on bye week, but plenty of action to get to. Go through all the props, and at the end, we might talk maybe some alt totals. Jim will give us some things that suck. We're focusing on defenses heavy in that segment. So, no time to waste, guys. It's not the overseas game that Europe wanted. It's the overseas game that Europe needed. It is Carson Wentz versus Gabriel. It's amazing how the NFL just changes week to week so quick. So we got offensive linemen out for Vikings. We got a quarterback change in Cleveland. This is a strange one. I will go first. I only have one that I'm kind of gravitating towards, and it is the rushing yards for Jordan Mason, under 63.5. The Browns are the second best rush defense in the league, second only to anyone? Happen to know who? It's Tampa, actually. So yeah. Probably because you can just throw all over them. It's a common theme with some of these. It's like, oh, they don't allow very many rushing yards, and then you look at the passing yards allowed. It's like, oh, that's because teams can throw for 290. Jordan Mason, I can't get there because I hate unders around this total, like 63 and a half, because like one play, all of a sudden he rips off 25, 30 yards on a busted tackle or something. Also, I have a feeling they may hand the ball off to him a million times. They have 3 offensive linemen out just to try and protect Wentz and make sure he doesn't throw a lot. The over-under is like mid-30s, so they're not expecting a lot of points. I can't take a whole lot of overs. I don't see a lot of offense. So Jordan Mason is a way I'm looking at. And I guess Quinshon Judkins 19.5. That's ambitious. But again, rookie quarterback, how do you protect him? Hand the ball off a million times. So I just don't think I'm going to be playing anything in this game. Corbin?
It might be classic, but Addison, I'm going back to over 39.5. I mentioned it last week, and he went over 8 targets, 4 receptions for 118 yards. Justin Jefferson's at 67.5. He had 10 catches for 126. I like quite a few things about the Vikings overs. One of them is obviously them playing in UK last week, so they're already acclimatized. They've been there for an extra week. I think the Browns' defense is already baked into these lines, and that's why the numbers are where they are. I think they're lower than they ordinarily would be. And at 39.5 for someone like Addison in particular, he only needs really 2-3 catches potentially to get there. So I really like both of those plays. My only worry is I think the Vikings could get up quite easily and not have to pass as much as needed. But I think all of that's kind of baked into why these totals are where they are. So I
Well,
still like both.
markets agree with you that thing's already 3 yards higher on DraftKings, and we're recording this on Friday, so certainly people are seeing something similar. Jim, you like anything?
I will get up in the morning. I will make my coffee. I will put the football game on, and I will bet Carson Wentz and Dylan Gabriel to throw an interception.
Oh, going interceptions. I like
Yes.
it.
I will
Okay.
also play Adam Thielen over 7.5 receiving yards. I know. It's gross. It's ugly. It's one catch for a first down. He had 2 receptions for 11 yards last week against the Steelers. They both came on third down. So, veteran quarterback, veteran receiver. It's a Europe game. It's going to be ugly. The only thing that I'm waiting on also, which I will be playing with this offensive line injuries for the Vikings, is Myles Garrett. I will take Myles Garrett to get a sack, and I will sit back and enjoy my breakfast. Those are the only plays I will have for this game.
Great, Jim. Straight to the point.
Now I want coffee. That sounds like a hell of a good time. Yeah, it's a strange game. So, all right, move on to the Raiders and my Colts, who make the argument this team should be should be undefeated here. And this is Dan's pick in Survivor. Dan's done very well in Survivor this year, and he has the Colts here. I was looking at, this is one of those teams where you look at like rushing props and you're like, oh, the Raiders don't allow that many yards rushing, and it's because everyone can throw all over them. So I think I want to go right back to Daniel Jones over his passing yards. 226.5. I don't think they're. I know Jonathan Taylor's been amazing. It just feels a little bit low. I feel like as long as this is below 230 every game, I think I'm going to be above 500 on this throughout the season. This guy's averaging 269.5. So, a lot of these passing. I mean, look, Geno Smith's averaging 237. They have his line at 235.5. So the math doesn't make a whole lot of sense on this one. So Daniel Jones, 226.5 would be the play I like the most in this one. Jim?
Well, Geno Smith is averaging 1.8 interceptions per game.
I figured this was going to come up.
Minus 133.
It's really crazy.
It's a good
It doesn't
number.
make any sense. Yeah.
And I know it's the Colts defense, but I don't care. The Geno Smith we're getting this year is turning the ball over. It's pretty. We talk about trends and following them, and he's careless with the football. That's what's happening. You weren't here last week, but your boy, which I wish was my boy, Tyler Warren, finally gets in the end zone.
Yes.
So he gets that touchdown. Do we see this continue now? Now that they've
Pittman's
gotten him in
banged
the
up.
end zone.
Pittman's banged up. That's a lot of targets available.
That's where I'm going next. So Tyler Warren, anytime TD, plus 160. Here's the beauty with Tyler Warren. It could be a direct snap to him, and he could run one in. Like, there's multiple ways. We saw it through college. I think that's also going to affect the idea with Daniel Jones rushing. We're off of that. His receiving number is 58. How do we feel about the 58? With Pittman
It's one of the
injured-
props I was about to talk
It
about.
is. Okay. All right. So I'll let you talk about it. That's all I had. So go right into Warren there, Corbin.
Okay, so I mentioned it last week, Jim on the show. Anything in the 50s, I think I'm just auto playing for Warren at that point. He is a game changer. He reminds me of Brock Bowers last year. And until it gets in the 60s, I'm going to just continue to play it and take advantage. 76, 79, 38, and 70. So you play this prop and it's gone 3-1. Just going to continue to play it until it gets in the 60s. He's just a difference maker. Also looking at Genty under 18.5 receiving. I have no idea where they have pulled this number from. Through the first 3 weeks, he had 2, 1, and 0. And it was 12.5, and I played it, and it did lose. He had 17 on 2 receptions, and now suddenly they've bumped it all the way up to 18.5. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Kind of goes hand in hand why I keep playing the rushing and receiving. It's under 85.5. Again, 40, 44, 63, and he had the breakout game last week where he went for 155. I don't think they fixed the issues. I think he just got a favorable matchup and had a good week. Again, I will come back to it once more. If it loses again, I'll happily jump off it, but I like both of those. And then I like the Colts to kick some field goals with Schrader. He's gone over 1.5 field goals in every single game this year. My only problem is I'm not particularly confident the Raiders' defense is good enough to get that many stops. But again, it's hitting every game. I'm just going to continue to play it. It'll be a reoccurring theme this show. I've got 4 or 5 kicker props where I'm just like, they've gone 3-4 or 4-4. You just play them every week, and 1.5 field goals is really not that much with the new balls, the way they're kicking it, the distances they're kicking it.
That's huge. The kicking balls. That's made a huge change.
Exactly.
Right?
So,
Great
yeah,
point.
I'll mention quite a few 1.5 field goals this week. So they're the 4 plays I've got.
Yeah, Market agrees. Go ahead, Jim.
Shout out to the Bears, too. We're talking about Warren. Colston Loveland's stat line the other week, 0 for 0.
Don't remind me
I'm just
of
going to
that
keep
draft.
rubbing that in all year. I'm not sour or nothing.
Markets agree with you on Genty. He's down to 15.5, little juice to the over. So you're seeing some buyback on that one. So if you're going to play Genty under, shop around. There's going to be some different books with some different lines for sure. Broncos and the Eagles. Corbin, coming to you first. What do you like in this one?
I like Jalen Hurts not to throw an interception. Don't have a clue what the
Amen.
price is, but whatever it is, I am playing it. Whatever. Rinse and repeat. Broncos have a decent pass defense, it seems, but they've only had 1 interception on the year. He just doesn't throw the ball enough. He runs it too many times. Just keep playing it. not going to play it, but I'm interested on your opinions on Barkley receptions at 2.5. He's had 4, 2, 4, and 4. Is this a trend because they're struggling to run the ball as effectively? Is it a couple of one-offs? I don't know if you've got an opinion on that, but to go over 2.5, 3 of the 4 weeks seems a bit enticing. No.
It's good. I hate this price. I would love to be sitting at even or plus money on it here on DraftKings. They've got it at minus 111. I guess I would say that his receiving total's 14.5. If you think he's going to get 3,
True.
surely he would get. And at that 14.5, that's low enough where one screen pass can get it over a dump off, on 3rd and 16 or something. So if I'm liking Barkley on receiving props, I would prefer to play the yards. I guess that's my humble opinion.
Yeah. And then we have to discuss AJ Brown, surely.
Oh, yeah. 58.5. We're in week 5, and this number is 58.5, and I'm not taking it over.
And
you
the
can't
trade
take
rumors have started.
Yes.
The trade rumor started because he started the trade rumors.
Exactly.
Some of the tweets he's been posting, I think, are outrageous to make from a couple of games into a season. I know he's disgruntled, but I don't see how that particularly helps anything. The morale's clearly not there. Often when they make these tweets, you're like, oh, surely they're going to try and make him happy and get him involved. I'm just not sure that they're going to particularly care, to be honest. I think they're just going to keep rolling and keep doing their thing. So, if anything, I'd be looking unders for AJ Brown. So,
All right, so real quick here. Would you be more upset, Corbin, if you drafted in the first round and second round, if you drafted, we'll say, what if you went CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown or Chase Brown and Brian Thomas? Who would you be more disappointed with?
oh, Jesus. Probably the CD Lamb and AJ Brown, just because one of them, obviously CD's injured at the minute.
Yeah.
And
At least you got a chance with the other two.
Yeah, I drafted Chase Brown and Brian Thomas, and my team's so bad I've informed the league I'm not picking up waiver wire pickups. My team's unsalvageable. It's like I'll set a lineup, but I'm not picking up free agents. It's that bad. Throwing the towel on that one. All right, Broncos and Eagles. Just for the record, I like the Broncos to cover the 3.5. Eagles need a loss, my opinion. They need a loss. That way, A.J. Brown can scream at the coaches and scream at Jalen Hurts, and they get in a room and they just get it all out of their system, and then they just come back and start kicking everyone's ass. So, oh boy, Giants and Saints. Weirdly, there are some props I kind of like in this one. Jim, do you like anything in this game?
I think this is a very bettable game.
Yeah, me too.
Game. You have two very bad teams who make mistakes. This is a different animal for Jackson Dart. I know he got the win, but he didn't come out looking like Eli Manning. Wasn't like there was running a pro offense. He was really running a read option the entire game, and that's how they squeaked out that win. I also think it was a lot to do with the Chargers just laying an absolute egg in that game. That was a really putrid effort by them. Cam Scatterboo sure seems like he's going to be getting a lot of attention. So the Saints defense Saints in general, would you say right now the Saints have performed better than you expected?
At 0-4, yes. They're
agree.
not getting blown out. They're somewhat competent and somewhat competitive. Like
Correct.
The Titans are in their own league, but the Saints are not the Titans.
So the popular Giants play is going to be this Cam Scatterboo, rushing. Right now it's even money at 70 plus. That seems like a high number, thinking that he's going to take all these carries. Jackson Dart, we're looking at 40 at plus money. Spencer Rattler's rushing. You can get minus 128 at 15. He's averaging 25.8. I like the Rattler better than any of them. We were just saying how we can't play Rattler last week, and he went off. Okay, well, missed the boat on that one. I will be looking at the interception prop for Jackson Dart. Once these teams get film on rookie quarterbacks, all it takes is 1 week of film, 1 week of tendencies, and then they can game plan for it. And the Saints defense hasn't been that bad. They've actually been producing pressures and sacks, which is astonishing, considering their only rusher is still Curtis Granderson. who's been there forever. So I'm going to be looking at the turnovers for Jackson Dart. That's pretty much the only actual number that I got to. Jackson Dart for an interception.
Fun fact for you on the sacks here, Jim. This will blow everybody's mind. In this game, on the season, Giants have 10 sacks, Saints have 11. What was the big thing about the Giants?
Never expect it, right?
Yeah. And did you see how many sacks Jackson Dart took last week? 5. Mm-hmm. This would be a great sacks prop game. Corbin, what do you think?
I have quite a few plays as well. I'll start with my favorite and work my way down. Brandon Cooks, 20-plus receiving. I mentioned it last week at 16.5, and I loved it, and it easily flew over again. He's getting into the 20s every single week. He's cashed it 4 straight weeks. I think his normal line is at like 22 or 23, and you can buy it down 2 or 3 yards to get to 20, just for like minus 140 or something. Just an extra little bit of juice. I take the extra few yards because he is a couple of these games he is getting the kind of 22, 23 mark. But I really like that, and I will be continuing to play Cooks. My second favorite play is Miller over 29.5 rushing yards for the Saints. His rushing attempts have slowly been increasing each week, 5, 5, 7, and 11 last week. I think this game is going to be quite close. Had 65 yards last week and 27 the week before. The Giants have an awful rush defense. I think Kamara's slowing down, slightly less interested. Miller's the new kid on the block, so I like that one. They're my 2 favorite props. The rest were just more discussing. Jim's already touched on the Rattler over 16.5. He finally cashed it last week with 6 rushes for 49. I was going to ask Jim if we even bother playing with it, because this will be the week he goes back down to 12 or 14 rushing yards.
I don't see how he's not scrambling in this pocket, just all over the place. The Saints have 3 linemen that are on the injury report. One of them out. Ruiz is out. They have 1, 2, 3. They have 3 guards on the injury report. One of them already ruled out, 2 questionable. So
it's just so tricky to trust someone that's had 2 or 3 games where he just hasn't rushed at all. It's like,
no, unless he wants to be a pincushion, he's going to have to be on the move against this line.
And then you already mentioned Scatterboo. I said he's all the rage, 67.5. I think it's already baked into the line. It's one of those you kind of had to catch it last week. I think it's too late for that. Same with the dart rushing. I know we discussed it again last week. Jim loved it and it flew over. But again, now they have film on him. It's his second week. He doesn't have those kind of unknown factors. Again, he could probably fly over again, but in his second game, I'm going to pass on that over 36.5 for dart. But it's an interesting one, I think, to at least keep an eye on. So
I don't think they're adjusting enough for Darius Slayton, 42.5 with no Malik Neighbors. I think he's going to slide into that role. Wandale Robinson gets a little uptick in his. Malik Neighbors. I know Jackson Dart didn't throw the ball a lot, but against the Saints team, I think they're going to let him throw a little bit more. You got to see what you got with this guy. So I like Slayton to get 42.5. So. Let's see. What is our next game? We're gonna go to how about them Cowboys?
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! We could be saying yeehaw for some of these Jets players, Jim. This is people bang on the Bengals. I think Cowboys is the worst defense in the league right now. Well, Ravens probably. Ravens are like hold my beer. I'll let you go first, Jim. This is your Jets team. You know them well. I've got a lot of thoughts on them. We'll start with you.
So when somebody's a homer and they start discussing their team and they start picking, this person could do this. Keep in mind, I am excited to bet against the Jets.
Okay.
Betting against the Jets is a very profitable endeavor, which took me years to learn as a Jets fan, is that it's one thing to have them win, but you can make money betting against them because they're going to suck. They're going to keep giving me Justin Fields at plus money to score a touchdown. I'm going to keep taking Justin Fields at plus money to score a touchdown. The same with Garrett Wilson. There are 2 weapons on this offense. It's Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields. Breece Hall is great, but I think Fields takes away the value of Breece Hall down at the goal line. because it's just too easy. It's too easy to roll him out. Why would you slam Brees Hall in there? What I do like is Brees Hall's rushing and receiving. He looks like he is back. Not my favorite play on the board. I'll look at it, maybe try to get a better number live. With the loss of Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis is going to get a little bit of run in the rush game, but it is solely Brees Hall's backfield now. Isaiah Davis is not a end-all, be-all in the running game. In fact, we can't even get lines on him right now. So as of right now, against this Cowboys defense, I am worried. The other thing is Javonte Williams could have a field day against this defense. We have no linebackers. We have no depth on the defensive line whatsoever. Our backups are morons when it comes to the game of football. I mean, just making
which is tough because they're professional football players.
I'll expand. Just making egregious gap responsibility plays, biting on a bootleg, and just running literally in the Miami game, we saw players running in the wrong direction when the ball was on the other side of the field. It was a joke. And if you've ever played football, watched football, know football, all you have to do is watch a few minutes of this defense to know that they're undisciplined and they rack up penalties. So I think it's offensive props across the board. My number one play is Jake Ferguson over his receiving yards. Jake Ferguson to score. These linebackers are lost. Absolutely lost. Our best linebacker, Sherwood, we just paid him $40 million, and he's useless. Absolutely useless. 5 tackles a game, no impact plays, blown coverages, pass interferences. Jake Ferguson is going to have a field day with Dak Prescott. Sauce Gardner on Pickens. Ferguson's wide open. That's all I got. You guys go. I don't want to go all day.
Corbin, I don't know if anyone's dissecting.
Is there anything left?
I don't have anything left. It was a Garrett Wilson touchdown. It was a Garrett Wilson touchdown for me. I don't know why it's this. I don't know why it's this priced. And I don't like touchdown props just because they're laughably priced, in my opinion. But Garrett Wilson continuing to be plus money he's like the only one they throw to when they get in close. They're not throwing to anybody else. So, Corbin, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to continue the Garrett Wilson theme. I like his receptions and his yards. I mentioned it, I think it was 2 weeks ago when Fields came in. That Tyrod Taylor came in, that he got more work, and he seems to have upticked since then. 6 catches, 82 yards last week. The Cowboys have one of the worst pass defenses, if not actually the worst, I think it is. I think he's the main player on their offense. He's going to get the ball time and time again. I think they're going to need to put up some serious points. I think they're going to be playing from behind. I love the 60 plus. Javonte Williams over 60.5 rushing attempts, 18, 10, and 20. Again, I'm expecting them to be up. I don't expect the Jets to be able to stop the run. I think he gets near the 20 mark again for rushing attempts. And then I have another field goal. Aubrey is another one that we've been going back to 3 of the last 4 weeks. Again, he has the biggest leg in the league. He can, with these the way they're doing the balls and all of that, he can kick one from miles. The one problem I have, I don't think the Jets can stop them at all, quite honestly. So I'm worried that he might not get the chance, but they're my favorite plays, particularly the Garrett Wilson.
All right. Yeah, Cowboys and Jets. This sneakily could be. Can I just throw a team total? The Jets 23.5. Yeah, Jets 23.5.
Yeah.
Like what offense in this league can the Cowboys stop? Like Justin Fields, like listen, he's not a great pocket passer. That guy can move the ball. Like what are they going to cover? Garrett Wilson and all these guys? No way. Like the Cowboys passing defense, they have a terrible secondary, but they make up for it by not being able to put any pressure on the quarterback. I mean, it's pitch and catch for the other team. Corbin, your boy Jordan Love, was just sitting back there hitting wide open receivers.
Don't get me started on that game. How we didn't win.
In a league full of alpha males, playing for a tie was an odd choice.
Yes.
So we're going to move on to the Texans and the Ravens real quick, if we could. Our Week 5 props pack is up. This includes all of our props that we bet on Sunday and Monday. Been a nice run, guys. 4-0 in our last 4 plays. All of them have been primetime games, so we're feeling a lot of good momentum. And listen, sometimes the gambling gods are looking down on you, sometimes they're not. We're a half yard short on Kyle Juszczyk to go over his receiving, and the game goes to overtime. We get a catch. And as Jim said, we were vindicated on that one because he should have gone way over in regulation.
Yeah.
But listen, by hook or by crook, we get in there, and that extends the streak to 4-0. Are we saying we're going to run the table this week? No. But we're saying we like our chances to turn a profit and be in the positive. So props have been very, very good for us over the last couple weeks. So you want to get involved with it and partner up with us, just get this pack. It's one price, one pack. Again, all games Sunday and Monday. A lot of really good props on the board. We've been pretty high volume, anywhere from 7 to 10. So you're going to get plenty of plays with write-ups. So encourage everyone to join us, wt.buzz/AL. And also, if you're watching this before UFC, we do have our UFC best bet that is up. It's a 5%er. That's at UFC 320, Ankalaev and Pereira. One bet really stood out more than the other. So I think we're going to have another UFC play in there, maybe. We'll see what the lines do, but there's a 5% play in there. So we've hit 60% of those 5% plays this year. I'd really like that to be up to 65%. So hopefully we get a win, get close to that 65% before the end of the year. All right, let's jump into the Texans and the Ravens. Corbin, this Ravens defense, this is not the Ravens defense that we are used to seeing. It's, I think by yards per game, it is the worst now. Can I interest you in Woody Marks rushing props? Because I got to tell you, I think the books are a little low on this one. Woody Marks at 54.5.
I actually feel like I'm going to contradict you. I like the play, but I feel like the number might be in the right place, kind of thing. I feel like they have adjusted the number. Obviously, you have got the whole Marks taking over from Chubb kind of situation. I think he is on the come up, but I have him. I think he's going to be around the 50 to 60 mark. So I have him almost slap bang on this total. So.
All right.
You think he's going into the 60s or 70s?
Against this defense? Yeah, absolutely. I just fade these terrible defense. You have Cooper Rush playing. This line has moved like basically 10 points, like since the Lamar news. This defense is just ravaged. They're out 7, maybe 8 starters this week. It's just not. It's not a starting defense. So Woody Marks has a chance to really show off. They gave him 17 carries last week. If he gets 17 carries, he's going over this total. So
that is true.
Yeah. So
I'll quickly do. Have you got anything else, or shall I?
No. Go ahead. There's he's not listed. I'll just tell you. I like Justice Hill this week. I'll be waiting for Justice Hill props to kind of.
What kind of Justice Hill props? Because I have one on my list.
Oh, go for it. Because
I quite like
I'm starting it.
2.5 receptions.
There you go.
I have a line on that. He's had 3, 5, and 2.
Yeah.
Amen.
Sorry. He's had 3, and 5, and 2 of those receptions came when Rush came in. Now, obviously, they were down when he came in, so it kind of leans into why he probably got those 2 receptions. But I think they're going to be down in this game anyway, or at least it's going to be very close, if not down. So I really like that Justice Hill over 2.5 receptions. I love Zay Flowers over 4.5 receptions. That feels ridiculously low to me. Again, I mentioned Rush. When Rush came in, he had 4 receptions on 5 targets just in the hurry up right at the end. And if I'm expecting them to be behind or close, then 7, 2, and 7. I love the over 4.5 on him. Slight worry on Texans field goal is one that we've been playing for, even going back to last year. I love it because the Texans offensive line just block themselves and just let them hit the quarterback endlessly, that any drive can stop at any point for the Texans. There's always something. There's always a misplaced pass or the offensive line's all over. There's always a reason that the Texans falter at some point to get field goals. The problem is I don't know if the Ravens can even run through the non-blocking of the Texans defensive line.
But you don't need them to because their left tackle is going to get a false start on every drive.
You
don't need the defense to have them stall. I wanted to jump in because I know you're worried about this play. I really like the field goal still. Like,
He's gone over
I really do. They're just such a clunky offense.
Yeah, you can just ignore who they're playing. He's gone over in 3 or 4 weeks. Even if it's not set up or the best matchup, he still just gets there. So, yeah, they're my 3 props, and I love all 3 of them. So,
Jim,
Could I interest anybody in a Texans over 20.5 points?
no.
of
go for it.
course.
I'm in.
Yes, against this defense.
Corbin, it could be 6 field goals.
It's a practice squad defense.
That is true.
It's
let's
bad.
ladder up the field goals.
I mean, you're asking them to score 2 touchdowns, and if your 2 field goals hit, we're almost
That
there.
is true.
We need 1 more field goal. If they score 3 touchdowns, we're golden. Right? Like, so if you think about the scoring, I like that 20.5. That's all I got in this game. That team total. That's it.
Interesting.
So they've given up 37 to the Chiefs, 38 to the Lions. They held the Browns to 17, and then 41 to the Bills. So do you think the Texans' offense is closer to the Browns or to the Bills, Lions, and Chiefs?
It's
a
closer
tough question.
to the Browns, but that 17 is pretty close.
It's true. The Browns
That's-
putting up 17. They're
It's
right
one
there.
garbage time touchdown away from going over there.
It's a good point. While we're recording and going to the next game, if you guys could please hit the like button, leave a comment below, tell us which one of your favorite props. Tell us if you think one of us is insane for one of our takes. Surely there's one.
Oh, it'll be me.
You are kind of they do like kind of hitting you in the comment section. So. But anyway, leave a comment and hit the like button. Appreciate you guys
I
for
will be
watching.
watching.
Dolphins and the Panthers. Looks like our boy, or my boy, Chuba Hubbard is going to be out on this one. So props are off for that one. Rico Dowdle is going to get the start. Of course, we've got Tyreek Hill that's out. And the biggest regret, I believe, that we had last week, Jim, was not putting Darren Waller in.
Should have put it in for clients.
Yeah, I should have put it for clients. It was 11 and a half, and we were like, wait a minute. Let's making his debut. They're going to run some. And I think he got it 1:12 seconds into the game.
First drive of the game.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, boy. We could have sit back and had our coffee like Jim's having this Sunday morning during the game. Jim, I'll go to you first here. Dolphins and Panthers, curious game from a props perspective.
Really not a whole lot for me. That Dolphins team got the benefit of playing us, and they did almost give it away in the second half. That Darren Waller number, it's 29.5.
Boy, what a jump.
Yeah, big jump, and I think for right reason. I think with the Hill injury, that changes everything. The natural reaction for everybody is going to want to go to Waddle, and I get it. Darren Waller is still plus 290 anytime touchdown score. We're looking at playable numbers here. The guy got red zone targets. He's a big body. I don't believe that this Panthers team is very good. That was confirmed last week. You talk about getting thrown off the scent. Maybe they're not that bad. Oh, guess what? They're that bad. So if you're talking about targets here, it's really Waddle, A-Chain, or A-Chain, and then it's Darren Waller. So I like the odds on Waller anytime touchdown.
Corbin?
I have nothing in this game. Ugly game all round.
I have one that I absolutely love. Might be my favorite play of the week. Let me introduce you, gentlemen, to Tommy Tremble, facing the worst defense against tight ends. This is a Dolphins team that, Jim, both tight ends in the Jets Dolphins last week we talked about.
Mason
we
Taylor
playing
looked
both
like
those
an
guys.
all-star.
Yeah, Mason
All-star.
Taylor looked like Tyler Ward mixed with Gronk against these linebackers. And I'll go right back to it and say, well, Tommy Tremble hasn't been that good. 42 yards last week, 5 catches. That's a real target in that offense, especially because, I mean, look at some of these names of the guys that they're throwing to. You know, Tet McMillan looks to be banged up. Xavier Legette, Hunter Renfrow. These are the targets. Tommy Tremble against a really bad defense. This was 25, and as we are recording this, it jumped to 27.5. So I really like Tommy Tremble to go over this against the worst tight end defense. That's the only prop that I will need in this game. Move on to the Titans and the Cardinals. Corbin, would you like to get us started on the Titans and the Cardinals?
Well, I'm going to say again, it's an ugly game, and I'm going to talk field goals. I'm going to go for both teams over there, 1.5 field goals here. First, we got Sly. He's gone over in 3 or 4, and he missed 2 last week. I like the comeback spot on him this week. Really like Ryland, I think his name is, for the Cardinals. Every week he has had exactly 2 as well. Again, just play it every week. You play all these kicker props that I'm going to mention have gone at least 3 and 4. You play them every week, and the juice isn't that much. I don't think I've seen one plus over negative 150 yet. So you only need to go 2 and 1 to make a profit here. So I like both of those this week. Or you could just take you can even take, I think, the total field goals in some places over 2.5. So if one of them has 2 and one of them has 1.
Total field goals made 3.5.
Again, you could take that as well. I like all of them. I love field goals in this game on 2 clunky teams.
Jim?
Well, we have no running backs for the Cardinals. They lost Connor. They lost Benson. So insert Michael Carter, former Jet, who I'm very familiar with. Where they've used him in this offense since they've got him has been in the receiving game. We don't have lines on it yet, but I'm going to be seeing what they line Michael Carter's receptions at. It looks like it's going to be him and who is it?
DeMarcado.
It seems like they're higher on DeMarcado from a rushing perspective.
Oh, really?
So I think from what I've seen, I'm not the end-all, be-all, but I can tell you they're not high on Carter. I mean, we weren't high on Carter from a rushing perspective. He's more of a scat back receiver on third down.
That says something if the Jets aren't interested in someone.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah, we let him walk. I mean, we didn't have much to back him up either. So I'm interested in his receiving. If I can get a 1.5 receptions, that's right where I want to be. Just 2 catches for the receiving back. Dortch, we don't have lines on him. But it sure seems that when Kyler Murray cannot trust Marvin Harrison, that's who he was looking for. There's not a lot of trustworthy targets besides McBride on this offense, and especially with Connor out, who was the soul of that team. So I'm going to be looking at Dortch. He's also a great play live. I know we're talking about pre-flop bets here, but we have to face facts that there's so much value in live betting. And when you see Marvin Harrison drop a pass or run a wrong route, start looking at other guys because Kyler Murray stops looking his way.
And you will see that happen.
You will see that happen.
You will have to. All right, you and I are going to go ahead.
One touchdown is not going to fix everything.
True.
Week, all right.
You and I are going to go a little bit head-to-head on this Michael Carter thing. I think he's the rushing downs back, and I think DeMarcado is just going to stay in that third down. What I like in this one is we talked about terrible rushing defense. I said the Ravens were pretty bad. But I really underestimated how bad the Bears' defense is. 140 yards per game to running backs. Bengals are next at 123, and this Titans team allows 117.5 yards rushing. I like Michael Carter 46.5. I don't think the books know what to do with it. And Jim, maybe I'm wrong on this one. You seem to be in alignment with the books.
We
I
can
don't know.
Both cash. I mean,
it's true.
The position
Carter
has
could be
to
the
be filled by
workhorse.
somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Michael Carter. Roll the dice. He was a pretty big, like people in fantasy that were, pretty screwed on bye weeks or injuries. They spent a lot of money on fab. I don't know what that says, but they don't have anybody left on that Cardinals team. That is a thin backfield. I mean, the next step is guys off the practice squad that nobody's ever heard of. So we move on to the Buccaneers and the Seahawks. Corbin, I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, my favorite play is probably the squarest one. Jackson Smith and Jigba over 76.5. I still don't think they've adjusted this number correctly. 124, 104, 103, 96, and 79. So he's gone over in every single week. I think it's easier to pass against the Bucs as opposed to running. He's the clear wide receiver 1. He's the clear target number 1. I'm shocked this number isn't into the 80s or just higher than this. Like, it just doesn't seem high enough for me yet. I like both teams' field goals. Seahawks, 3 of the last 4 weeks as well. Another one that's hit 3 or 4 times. Bucks have hit in back-to-back weeks with obviously Evans now being out and some of the injuries. It makes their offense a bit more clunky, leading to more field goals. So I like both of those over 1.5. And then my one to discuss is Baker over 18.5 rushing. He flew over the first 3 weeks, 39, 33, and 44. Played it last week and he had 13. Is it a case of play it again, or is it a case of dropping it now that he's dropped off quite considerably from 44 to 13 yards? I'm not going to play it probably either way, but it's just interesting to get your opinions on it.
I'll go first. You're dependent on the long one. 2 weeks ago, he had the long one kind of towards the end. But that's why you take his over is busted play. There's an offsides on the defense. He drops back to throw a long one, and the lane opens up. Or it's 3rd and 10, and he fights for those yards.
Yeah.
He doesn't slide. So you're dependent on the big one, and I think this falls in the category of you play it every week. I don't think you can pick and choose. Like you said, if you just play this every single week, you're really happy at this point. So, like, the offensive line is not great. They're dealing with a lot of injuries. They do get Godwin back. My take 2 weeks ago on Baker over his rushing was how just, there was no options in the passing game, so he's going to have to take off and run. If you commit to playing over 18.5 this week, then you're just going to have to do it for the next few weeks. So you're either playing it for the next 4 or 5 weeks, or you're doing nothing at all. Jim?
Cade Otton. I'm going to read you his season stats. 6 receptions for 34 yards.
Wow.
The man has disappeared. Every week, I've been, like, it's time, right? Mike Evans goes out. It's time. What does he do? Like 3 catches for what, like 6 yards? Whatever it is. They have his receptions at 3 and his yards at 24.5. So all of a sudden now is the time against this Seattle defense, who I actually think is playing way above their head. This is a pretty good Seattle defense. It's a young defense. They can get pressure on the quarterback. They can make plays against the limited Tampa offense right now that is banged up without their number 1 running back, without their number 1 wide receiver, and a hobbled Baker. I don't want to be the one with egg on their face that all of a sudden takes an under on Cade Otton and he goes 6 for 70 and a touchdown, but I have to go under on the receiving yards and the receptions in this game. 3 and 24.5 makes no sense when this guy has been a non-factor. Like he's not on the field. You just don't. He's gone. It makes no sense to me why they don't utilize him.
I think this a
then
little.
Then again, Mbuka's going off. So what are you complaining about? You know?
Yeah. I guess I'm a little. These lines seem a little ambitious on Chris Godwin. Like, been out for a while, ankle injury. We're going to come back and catch 5 passes for 55 yards in your first game back. Maybe Evans is out. Maybe, it's just back to
He
back
did
to
have
the
10
good old
targets
days.
last week. I just looked it up. He only caught 3 of them, but he had 10 targets, which seems very excessive.
That's what I mean. I need to see it before I'm betting on Godwin.
Yeah.
I just need to see it. Once they get into the flow, then maybe I can see it.
That will be a receptions every week once he's
good to go.
Step again, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I have nothing else in this game, so we move on to the Lions and they're back to being the Bungles, aren't they?
The Bungles.
They're the Bungles, the paper bags over their heads. Jim, I'll go to you first. What do you do with this game?
This Bengals team, they are the Bungles. I mean, they are.
They're bad.
Here's what worries me about stats in this game, that the Bengals just get played out of this game, and you're going to end up coming up short on a lot of these Detroit totals. Because at that point, what do you do? I mean, would it shock you to see an end score of 42 to 10? 7?
No.
3?
No.
Like,
No.
it's just, this is a David and Goliath situation. I know it's Jared Goff outdoors. Let's not forget about this, but I don't think it's going to limit this game that much. We spoke earlier about Montgomery. I'll let you guys say your piece on Montgomery as far as that goes, but I mean, you got to go Jake Browning interception. Like, that's just it's a given. You have to at this point. They're going to have to throw the ball. So stick with that. Minus 157. I think it's worth a stab.
Not terrible.
I can't even do anything on the defensive side for Cincinnati. Jared Goff, 2 passing touchdowns. I mean, again, fading crap. We're fading a team. So let's go with it. Other than that, I have nothing. Go right ahead, boys.
I'll go first because I want to transition to you, Corbin. I think you found the way to do it. Amon-Ra St. Brown has just been fantastic. As good as he's been, Sam Laporta's just kind of been like, what? I don't know what I would do with Sam Laporta, but I'm going right back to Amon-Ra St. Brown. They go to him in big situations, and this Lions team loves to front run, and for whatever reason, Amon-Ra St. Brown seems to be the one that's getting these like late touchdowns to seal it, or the 4th down they throw it. He's been fantastic for overs and for touchdown scores and for fantasy, so I would go there. The obvious one on the board. Where do the books get off putting the rushing yards for Chase Brown at 50? This guy's averaging 2.3 yards per carry, so he's going to have to get 20 carries. You think he's getting 20 carries against this Detroit Lions team? Hell no.
Well, how many third and 25 draw plays is he going to get?
Jesus.
I mean,
it's
a
3 of them.
He doesn't have more than 47 yards in a game. Trust me, I have him on a fantasy team. I've watched him. It's brutal. He gets hit in the backfield more than any back in the league. He can't avoid anybody. He can't break any tackles. Nobody's scared of the passing. So it's just an under galore on Chase Brown. What a disappointment. I will go to David Montgomery. This Bengals rush defense is pretty bad. And I was like, bounce back game for David Montgomery, 51.5. Yeah, he had his worst game of the season. But Corbin, I think you found a better way to attack it.
Yeah, the way I'm going to attack it is the Montgomery anytime touchdown. It's minus 185. We'll get to what I'm doing with that in just a second. But I saw a video. Somebody posted it in our Discord. One of you might be able to clarify. It's either he's from Cincinnati or he went to college there or something. He's got a ton of family coming as well.
Oh, then it's no doubt.
Easy.
Come back. It's all set up for him to have a touchdown.
That's a Dan Campbell thing.
And you might go minus 185 is a little steep. We're talking about how easy we think the Lions are going to win. You add the Lions money line, which I can't believe is only minus 550 at the minute. I love that. I think they're going to steamroll. And that suddenly brings down the play to minus 130 on a Lions money line and Montgomery touchdown. So that is the way I will be attacking this game, and that will be my only play because it's going to be a blowout, I think. So I can't trust any
with both. Corbin.
Pardon?
I think you could do that with both him and Gibbs. I mean, how many games have we seen where Gibbs and Montgomery both have a rushing touchdown, or both have a touchdown?
If I add Gibbs to have a touchdown, it's plus 175.
Wow. There you go.
Do him
Throw
separate,
St.
do
Brown
them
in
together.
there. Now what are we cooking with? 6
Plus
to 1?
600.
Yeah, there you go. Reading this, Corbin, David Montgomery of strong ties to Cincinnati, his hometown. Played high school at Mount Healthy High School in Cincinnati, born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio.
It's all set up. Every narrative, everything is set up perfectly for him to have a touchdown this week.
Do we remember when Dan Campbell had Javonte? Was it not Javonte?
No, it's Jamal Williams, and
Jamal
I will
Williams.
never
Dan
forgive
Campbell
myself. I will never forgive myself. I wanted to put a 5% on Jamal Williams to have 2 touchdowns at 6 to 1. I talked myself out of it, even though Dan Campbell said he was going to let Jamal Williams break the season total for touchdowns, and Jamal even said, "I'm coming for you, Barry," and I chickened out. Yeah, you're right, Jim. This is a classic Dan Campbell thing. This is totally a Dan
This
Campbell
is our
thing.
chance to make up for it, Andy. The gambling gods have
5%?
given us a.
I was getting 6-1 on the Jamal Williams too. This is minus 185, but I get what you're saying. All right, we'll move to the Commanders and the Chargers. Jim, coming to you first.
Do we have confirmation on the quarterback?
It's Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Daniels.
Chargers going back home after going to what is with the Chargers and going to the East Coast? Just every time they go to the East Coast, we forget about it, and they come back, and what do you know? Here we go all over again. I have not a single solitary prop in this game whatsoever, even with Daniels in. I don't know what we're going to get from the Chargers. I don't know what we're going to get from Daniels coming back. Is he going to be a little gun shy? Is it going to be one hit and everything's re-aggravated? I will say this. This Luke McCaffrey 1.5 receptions. Is he starting to get a little bit more run in this offense? Was it the Mariota factor? You know, when you tally up the return yards that he did, what do coaches always do? We got to get this guy in on offense more. He's a playmaker. He's this. He's that.
You use the magic word. He's a playmaker.
We
got to get him the ball in space.
Right? We got to get him a ball. I don't care if he gets 3 receptions for -5 yards. If they're going to get him the ball, this 1.5 is just screaming to me.
He's had 3 targets the last 2 weeks, 2 and 3 receptions, 21, 56 yards.
That's what makes it so perfect. I remember not to keep talking, when the Jets did this with Chad Morton, he returned a kickoff for the touchdown. The following week, they gave him 5 carries for 3 yards and like 3 catches for -10 on screen passes.
Jesus.
Like, God, he's a returner for a reason. But, hey, just catch the ball, dude.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's really funny.
what
Corbin, you
else
think
you got?
anything in this game?
Yeah, I got 3 props. We'll start with my favorite. Quinton Johnson over 60.5, 79, 71, 89, and 98. Why the hell is this still 60?
It's not. It's 66.5. So
wow,
when you saw that today, the market jumped big time with you.
Even
So
at that
you're right.
number, I
You're
still kind of
100%
like it. Like, he's getting he seems to be, Lad McConkey's been clunky this year. Like, it's just been a bit of a mess. So yeah, I think Quentin Johnson can get well into the 70s this week. Herbert, no interception. He threw 2 last week, which was quite painful. Just going to come back to it. I don't care who he's playing. I'm just going to carry on playing it. So that'll be my second play in that one. And then I mentioned field goals, Chargers. Dicker the kicker, 3 of the last 4 weeks again. He's gone over 1.5. Again, just all of these, just keep playing them. And by the end of the season, you'll hopefully be up. I was quite interested in rushing props for all 3 of the main guys, Hampton, JCM, and Chris Rodriguez, but I decided they were all kind of in the right place. Maybe Hampton was the most generous one of the 3, but I think the other 3 props I mentioned are more enticing this week. So,
Yeah, I think you guys covered it. I don't think I have anything useful to add to those. Move on to Patriots and the Bills. I have some bad news for you, Hunter Henry supporters. Do you know what that is, Jim?
Go right ahead, Mr. Lang. I don't know.
Oh, the Bills are the number 1 defense against tight ends. 15 yards per game to tight end. So, do you trust the Do you trust the players? Do you trust the? What do you do with this one?
It's a pass. It's a straight pass.
Keep going, Corbin.
Well, sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Through 4 games, I'm one of the biggest Hunter Henry fans ever. I was playing him every week last year. Came out and had 4 the first week, then fell off a cliff and had 1. Came back and had 8 the week before. You thought everything was hunky-dory. I didn't play it actually the next week. I can't remember if there was a reason or I just didn't decide not to. He only had 2 receptions for 39 yards. You can't do something with a player that's having 4 and 8 one week and 1 and 2 the next. Like, there's no consistency there at all. So, given what you just mentioned as well, it's a hard pass on Henry for the foreseeable future.
Jim, you like anything in this game?
So I will go back to the last two games against the Bills for the Patriots. In those two games, we have over 10 catches and 100 yards to tight ends. Now, most of that probably came in garbage time, I would think. Here's the thing that I saw is James Cook has scored in every game against the Patriots. So I know it's lined and it's juiced, and it very
Wow,
well
minus
should be.
220. Wow.
But I'm going to take a page out of Corbin's book, and I'm going to take James Cook and the Bills' money line. Bills are at home against the Patriots. Get this thing under minus 200, and I will play it every week. There's no reason to look anywhere else for touchdown scores. I know Josh Allen's like the hot pick. We can take Josh Allen to score a touchdown. Greedy Josh Allen. Thank you, Corbin. But it's James Cook, man.
I didn't even get chance.
Offense runs through James Cook.
Well, I might as well do my greedy Josh
ahead.
Allen quickly. Primetime game, he's going to have the eyes on him. He hasn't done it for a couple of weeks. He did. He came back last week and got one. He didn't have one for a few weeks before that. Primetime, all eyes on him. He's going to get in the end zone. Look at me. I scored a touchdown up 20 points against the Patriots. I do like some of the receiving props also in this game. I love Shakir over 43.5. Again, over in 3 of the last 4, 69 yards last week. I mentioned it time and time again. I think the Patriots' passing defense is atrocious. So I think they're actually the 9th worst. I'm going to continue to play wide receivers against them, which is why I also love Palmer over 14.5 for the Bills as well. Over in 3 of the last 4 weeks. It also is quite telling. I quite like his longest over an 11.5. So you're telling me I can have the whole game for 14.5 or the longest for 11.5. Like, I know he's not getting that many receptions, but yeah, I think he's going to do this in 1 reception for 20-plus yards, and I think both of them are going to go over, and greedy Josh Allen's going to be celebrating like no tomorrow. So,
what's Allen to throw for 2? Is that a playable number?
Minus 164.
Yeah, no. Not with the rush ability of him and Cook in there. I was hoping it'd be, something adjusted because of the rush issues.
Yeah. I'd almost prefer Drake May at plus 133. Mm-hmm. Get a couple in there. That rushing game's not scaring anybody. Bills defense, not great. Not great by I wouldn't even say they're bad. So, they scored 2 touchdowns. If the Patriots scored 3 touchdowns, Drake May probably throws 1 for sure. Then you just gotta hope he gets another one. But I'd rather take Drake May at plus 133 than Josh Allen at minus 164. So. All right, one more game to break down. Again, guys, we do have our NFL props pack that is up 4-0 after cashing on Thursday night. You get all props for Sunday and Monday. I'm hoping to end the year 58-59% on props. We're pretty close to that. We're around 54%, 55%. So hopefully we have a really good week. You're going to get every prop that we play, and we've been pretty high volume on these, about 7 to 10. So you're going to get plenty of plays. It includes all games from the early game on Sunday morning where Jim is having his coffee all the way through the primetime game Sunday night and into Monday. So it's one pack. You get all of our props. Props have been very, very good, up 50 units in the last 365 days. So this has been a good source of income for our portfolio. All right, last game here, guys. The Chiefs. I made the joke. It's not a joke. By the end of the season, the Chiefs are going to have the best damn receiving corps. All of a sudden, Xavier Worthy's there. Rashee Rice is there. Travis Kelce has saved himself for the season. Now he looks good. Boy, they laid the smackdown, but I don't know. They're on the road at the Jags. Corbin, I don't know what to do in this game. I don't think I have any confident props. Do you?
I'm right there with you. I have absolutely nothing that I trust in this game.
Jim, do you have anything?
Nothing from either of you? I am stunned on this game.
I can't get there on any of these numbers.
Well, I wanted to take worthy receptions, but I just, again, having just come back, like I normally like the injury angle. Other than that, I really detest the Jags. I have a thing against the Jags. I think they're awful, quite honestly. I think they're so overhyped. But there's nothing there to take, really, for me.
I got one play that is sticking out to me like an absolute sore thumb.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
One of my favorite plays. Thornton, averaging 45.5 yards per game. You can get 15 yards at plus money. Or no, it's actually minus 108 now. 15 yards? 15 yards.
Yeah, he only had
Okay,
one.
sorry.
He only had one
13
reception
yards.
last week though for 11 yards.
I understand that, but it was Worthy coming back, and they gave Worthy a absolute
true.
massive workload. The Chiefs are so good at this, having you off balance from 1 week to the next week. You have no choice but to watch Worthy like an absolute hawk. And what did they do by the end of the game? They made sure they got Hollywood Brown his touchdown against his former team. It's just you can read the script with this offense when they're clicking. And if they're clicking, you're going to see a bunch of passes are going to go to Worthy early. And sometime in the third quarter, Mahomes is going to drop back and throw a 30-yard pass to Thornton. And that'll be his only reception of the game. But, like, you're going to give me this low of a number on somebody who they're going to need this season. They're going to need him down the stretch. I will take that low number. I know Juju's been good, 37.5 yards per game. I never saw that coming, that we'd have Juju Smith-Schuster on fantasy teams doing work. I'm going to go back to Thornton this week. This number is criminally low.
One that just quickly popped up in I forgot to look at. Strange receptions. They're getting him way more involved every week. You can take him. I think it's over 3.5. I think it's his number. He's had 6, 3, and 4. So usage is going up. I think they're going to have to throw the ball a bit here. They seem to just be getting him involved way more. You can use him 3+ as a alt parlay piece as well. I think that's minus 260-ish, and he's hit that every game. So
I think this number's insane on Brian Thomas at 56.5. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but this man's had 11, 49, 55, and 49. And I just don't think the Chiefs are going to let him beat him, especially when there's not that many weapons on this. It's Travis Etienne. That's the big weapon. And other than that, like you said, Corbin, there's Brenton Strange. There's Travis Hunter, who they traded a bunch of picks for so they could, I don't know. If you trade all those picks and his number's at 28.5, I'm just going to say that's not that great of a trade.
He's just mediocre on both sides of the ball. He's nothing special.
Pick a position.
Yeah.
He's a cornerback.
He is a cornerback.
He's not a wide receiver.
Yeah. All right. So, Corbin, do you have any alt lines or any same game parlays you want to do? Or I know you're under the weather this week.
It's okay. Strange receptions, that one I just mentioned, 3+ is good. Taking a Quentin Johnston that I mentioned, I like at 6. It was at 60, now 69. You can take some of that. Jackson Smith and Jigba, I mentioned at 76.5. You can get him at 50 or 60 yards. There's a couple others, like I mentioned, the Brandon Cooks one at 20. And then it's really, some of these guys, I mentioned field goals. You can take them, just have one field goal and parlay 2 or 3 together and get a playable number as well. So that's probably where I'm looking.
All right, give me one more piece on this Lions and Bengals. I got Montgomery to score a touchdown, Jake Brown to throw an interception. That's not going to give it. It's not going to add
Lions
a whole lot.
-7. Lions minus something.
What do you got? What do you got for Osivash receptions? Can you get him to get one reception? Just one. Just one.
You just want him to have one?
Just one.
Yeah, that's all he gets. No, they're making you play the 2. They're making you take the 2.
Sons of bitches.
I know. All right, so Corbin, you like? Can we go here, Corbin?
A team total, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, can we go for a complete Lions ass whooping?
Yeah, go for like 35+ or something.
Okay, so let's go.
I think they're paying 40.
What? Here, let's take the 34.5. There you go. So there's your 4-1.
Love it.
Montgomery anytime touchdown score. Browning throwing interception. And Lions 34.5. There's your same game parlay at a 4-1. We're laying the wood. Laying the wood on the Lions here against this Bungles team. So, all right, Jim, you want to do a quick things that suck?
Most certainly.
All right, things that suck, and we're laughing at these, but really These are things to fade. Figure out a way
Yes.
to fade these. It's not just a comedy bit. There's a way to make money.
We'll start with the aforementioned Bengals. What can they do? As a functioning NFL football team, what can they do? I'll wait.
Turn up and go home.
They're really good at getting dressed, getting out of the field. But other than that, there's nothing that this team can do. They can't defend the pass. They can't stop the run. They can't protect the quarterback. They can't get first downs. They can't do dump-offs in the flat to running backs. It's just over and over and over again with this team. Joe Burrow or not, let's be real. They were a bad team when Burrow was under center as well. There is really big flaws in this team. So you can't put it all on Jake Browning. But it's been a train wreck. It's been an absolute train wreck. They've put nothing around Burrow to protect him for years, and it's about time that we start capitalizing on it. The good old New York Jets. Penalties. Defensive flaws. 10 penalties for 136 yards last week. You can't win football games that way. You just can't. It prolongs drives. It gets these easy touchdowns. I think there's a lot of value with touchdown scorers with the Jets going forward on both sides of the ball. So we'll continue to look to fade this bad Jets defense. We're also missing more players. Nobody's come back healthy. So it's just getting worse and worse and worse week by week by week by week here. Last but not least, Andy, your favorite defense to fade. The Dallas Cowboys.
How about the Cowboys?
How about it? I mean, would you be shocked to see the Cowboys make a trade before the trade deadline? And it's going to be
another one?
It's going to be an
one
offensive
didn't work
player. For sure is. Oh, I know what's wrong with it. We need another wide receiver. That's
Travis Hunter.
Yeah. Oh, it would make sense. They're just a sieve. There's so much value in the stats of the opposing players against the Cowboys. And the beauty of it is the Cowboys can score points. So it's making the opponent have to score, making them have to try. You look at that Green Bay game, a lot of those stats don't come through without the Cowboys scoring points. So these are teams that we're looking to fade going forward. Bengals, the Jets, and the Cowboys, man. It's easier to fade bad than it is to predict when somebody's going to play well.
My buddy told... Yes, Corbin.
No, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just whilst you were talking, I was just randomly looking at lines for next week, and I was wondering who the Packers were playing. They have the Bengals next week, and they're minus 1,200. And you're telling me that the Lions are minus 550 this week? They're half as good as the Packers, apparently. Like, that to me doesn't make an awful lot of sense. I'm surprised that the Lions aren't closer to the minus 1,000 mark as well. So I just thought that was quite interesting. Sorry.
Like my buddy said, we got millions of obese people in the United States, and we can't find 5 of them to protect Joe Burrow. So
That's good.
all right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much
Happy note to end on.
for joining us on the prop line. Andy, Corbin, and Jim. Again, NFL Week 5 props pack is up. All props for Sunday and for Monday. We're on a nice 4-0 short-term run in NFL. Looking to get that winning percentage to 58, 59% for the season. That means we are well within the profit range. So join us, partner up with us. That's at wt.buzz/AL. 5% best bet in UFC goes off on Saturday. Use the promo code BANG10, BANG10, and that gets $10 off the 5% best bet. Good luck on your plays this week. We'll see everyone later. Take care.
Good luck.